Manchester United might have new genius big game tactic. With 2 defeats in their opening 4 matches already, pressure will be on Manchester United when they return to action next weekend. It has been a tough start to the season for Erik ten Hag, one made even worse by the dramatic defeat to Arsenal on the eve of what feels like an exceptionally long international break. No team can win the Premier League in the opening weeks of the season, but many teams can effectively lose any hope of winning it. There will already be many United fans who have given up whatever faint hope they had for a top-flight triumph this time around. United's awful away record has continued this season with defeats to Tottenham and Arsenal on the road, and things don't get any easier with a trip to face Bayern Munich later in the month. If they are to have any hopes of ever truly challenging the best sides in Europe again, then United will need to find a way to address their awful away record, something Ten Hag is sure to be mulling over right now. The solution could lie within United's approach to these matches, and a slight change of tactics could well hold the key to a triumphant turnaround in their fortunes. Andre Onana has enjoyed a steady start to life at his new club, and it is already clear to see how integral he is to a style of play which focuses on playing out from the back. There doesn't need to be any changes in front of him either, with a back 4 of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez, and Luke Shaw preferred when they are all fully fit. In the long run, United clearly need a younger centre-back to rely on, while there is also interest in eventually adding another right-back to the squad as well. The biggest change would be in the midfield setup. In the last few years, United's best results have come when adopting a more conservative approach focused on counter-attacking their opponents, with an emphasis on pressing them into mistakes. It's a blueprint that can't be ignored, but one that could be refined with a few tweaks going forward. It would be foolish to ignore the strengths of playing on the break, though there should be an ambition to strike a balance and also be as threatening when they are on top in matches too. Ten Hag has already hinted he could look to use summer signing Sofian Amrabat alongside Casemiro, and that seems like a sensible solution, given both the defensive and offensive traits they possess. United also enjoyed success by utilizing Bruno Fernandes in a wide role last season, but Mason Mount also looks well suited to the role and could establish himself as a key component of their big game approach. The added bonus of this selection is that Fernandes and Mount could both swap positions on the fly as well, adding an extra dimension and an extra layer of depth to their options. There is no longer any debate over Marcus Rashford's best position, and he has tended to perform well whenever utilized in his left-wing role against the bigger side. He could be even more dangerous following the arrival of Rasmus Højlund, who completes the lineup given he is the only natural center forward at the club. It was clear even from his brief cameo against Arsenal that he has a lot to offer, whether it be his movement, link-up play, or actual scoring ability. There is hope he can transform the side when fully fit, and all the other attackers are sure to benefit from playing alongside someone who has such a commanding presence in the forward line. A lot could depend on United's injury situation after the international break, with 5 of the players discussed currently experiencing different injury and illness concerns. Yet there is still plenty of reason for optimism for the rest of the season, and when back to full fitness, United could well have a side that is capable of beating anyone. In other news, Erik ten Hag's stance on Jadon Sancho Man United future as manager still shocked. Jadon Sancho's public outburst in response to his Arsenal exclusion has left Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag bewildered, according to reports, and the escalated situation hasn't gone how ten Hag envisaged when calling out Sancho's poor training performances after Sunday's defeat. The Red Devils boss was brutally honest when asked why Sancho was absent from the traveling squad at the Emirates Stadium, and shortly after ten Hag claimed his levels weren't up to United standards, the 23-year-old winger took to social media to fire back. Sancho believes he has been made a scapegoat and questioned the Dutchman's real reasoning for leaving him out of the 3-1 defeat. According to the Mirror, ten Hag hoped his post-match comments would serve as motivation for Sancho to fight for his Old Trafford future, but he was left stunned by the United number 25's attitude toward his challenge to improve, instead releasing the explosive statement that has stayed pinned on his X account for almost a week. The report adds that ten Hag wouldn't have blocked Sancho's exit if Saudi Pro League interest had gained traction before Thursday's transfer deadline. Steven Gerrard's Al Ettifaq were interested in a late swoop, but United's request for a £50 million obligation to buy thwarted their attempt. However, ten Hag is said to consider the situation blow out of proposition and is confident the pair can air their grievances behind closed doors. That said, he will stand behind his open criticism of Sancho and remains aware that players can't so comfortably threaten his authority. Sancho may now find himself even further down ten Hag's wing pecking order after falling behind Marcus Rashford, Antony, and Alejandro Garnacho this season. Facundo Pellistri has stayed at Old Trafford beyond the transfer deadline, and Amad Diallo is yet to return from an injury suffered in preseason. Ten Hag's shock about Sancho's behavior and the subsequent media storm will have been intensified by his widely praised treatment of the England international last season. He arranged for Sancho to spend time at an amateur club with personal coaches in the Netherlands as he dealt with physical and mental issues. After months out of the spotlight, the £73 million star returned in February and showed promise signs that he was ready to kick on in M16, but his public spat with Ten Hag has sent his progress back ahead of crunch talks before club football returns. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.